Alright everybody, welcome to the review for PGA Tour 2K25. So in this series you have had the Golf Club 1, the Golf Club 2, which those two I have not played. And then you have 2019, 2021, 2023, and now 2K25. And we're going to start with all the positives. So, I played the early access version, so you get, if you pay for that, it's a week early, and you get to play. You have pretty much you have the full access of, everything the game has to offer. And we'll start with the My Player, and how that has really been a huge step up from previous games. So in this My Player, in this My Player, you have a pretty big step up when it comes to your appearance and how you look. In previous games, even just the very last one, I feel the look of the person was more like a mannequin. Like, people didn't really look that good, and they do look a lot better here. You have presets, so you can't fully, you have some RPGs that are big RPGs, you fully customize from top to bottom. And you can sort of do that with this one, but you do have to select from a preset and work from there. But as you can see, the hair looks pretty good, at least the hair on the head. Facial hair always has a little bit of stuff around the edges where it looks a little funny. You have all your info here, just like normal. And then you have your caddy, which to me, this was the biggest disappointment in the appearance and info for your My Player. You literally just choose who you want your caddy to be, from this look. And that's literally it. You can't customize your bag, which is very unfortunate. You can't customize your caddy at all, which is very unfortunate. But the overall appearance, how you get your player to look, is pretty good. And they have this right here. You have body, shape, and muscle definition. So as you can see, I'm a pretty skinny guy in real life. I only weigh 123 to 125 pounds on average. So I'm really skinny, but you can make yourself a thicker guy, if you are in real life, or if you want to just play as a thicker guy. But yeah, you of course have the height. You can go, all the way up to 6'6", which there are people taller than that, but you can go all the way down to 4'11". So yeah. There we go. So that's the appearance. Not too much into it, unfortunately. Like I said, they don't have golf bag or caddy customization, which is very, very unfortunate. Now, let's get into the golf bag. So, the most simple is the clubs. You have your overall appearance of the driver. So you start with these 2Ks, and as you go through the game, you will either get from My Career, or you will get from Clubhouse Pass, or you will get from the shop where you just pay VC. You'll get from challenges, different cosmetic clubs, because these don't do anything for you stat-wise. They're all just cosmetic, which is good. I think when you do the early access, you get this sim, and I can't remember where I got this one, but this one I got from the store. It was very cheap, and we'll go through the store later. That's a huge actual negative. One of the very few big negatives of the game. But this one I got from the store. It was already leveled up, and it was very cheap. So I was like, screw it, I'll get it. And I had a lot of VC at the time. Shaft and grip you do need to buy in from the store. I have not seen any way that you can get these anywhere else besides just getting different colors from the store. Now, when we go through upgrades for the clubs, now I think this is actually a huge improvement from previous games. So, if you go to upgrade, and I can't do the driver, so we'll go to the irons. As you can see, I have these hickory irons, which you can get by getting a player archetype to level 90, and you'll get hickory clubs. So if we go to upgrade, I can't do these either, never mind. But anyway, you have these club fittings, which in the previous games, your club fittings it didn't matter which archetype you got, the fittings made everybody basically have the same build, because if you were a technician, which was very low distance, but you had a lot of you had a lot of contact, which contact wasn't in the previous game, but you had a lot of correction or transition, rhythm, stuff like that. You just put fittings in to give you all the distance you need, and it doesn't take away from anything. So in this one, you have your fittings. They give you, distance or contact or swing path. It's very little to start out until you start leveling up your clubs. Now to level up your clubs, you will need either level up tokens to get this all the way. You see the little locks right there. You play with the clubs, unlock all these slots, and once they're unlocked, I want to get to a club where I have it unlocked so I can show you. It's probably the wood. No, I still don't have it in the wood. What the hell? Okay, so I don't have anything on this character anyway. But anyway, that's very strange. So once you get all these slots up here unlocked, then you get the Evo, and you use an Evo tool to upgrade it. So you see these are +3, it'll go to +4 after that. It gets rid of all your fittings, and you restart from there, but instead of just +3, it'll be +4. And as you can see, I don't have any in here because I want to upgrade the clubs as much as possible before I start putting them in so I don't lose fittings, especially now that they've made awful changes to, let's just say the VC, and we'll get into that later, but anyway. And you have it so that if I did start putting some of these in, that you get the upgrade. So if we go to, do I have a power? Yeah, this is power. A +3 power to the irons. As you can see, it goes from, my 5 iron is 199, where it was 198. So it's only a +1, to the power. So it's not a humongous thing. It's not game breaking, but we'll see in the long term where this ends up, because as you can see, I'm at Emerald. It says right under Hickory, Emerald. And you can go up to, I believe, +6 right now, or +4. I can't remember if it's +6 or +4 right now, but they have in one of the menu screens, you can see that they're going up to what looks like maybe a +12, something like that. So we'll see in the long term how that all works out. And actually, the one I do think I have fittings on, I can show you, is the driver. Yeah. So as you can see, I have fittings on driver. I have 1 power. I have a, what the hell is this? Oh no, this is, I hate that. I can't really look at what I have in here without replacing it. Or maybe I can. Yeah, okay, so I have a correction. I have a swing path. I have 2 swing paths. I have a contact, and I have another contact. And if I wanted to, I need to level this up a little bit, so I can either use a level up token or wait until that levels up and then Evo it, and it's at, I don't even know which one, what level this at. It's a limited edition driver, so I don't know which one that's at. Anyway, and then all the clubs work like that, except for, this isn't a club obviously, but the ball. The ball works a little bit differently. So for these, you level it. You can level the ball up, but instead of having fittings that you fit in each slot, like you do with the clubs, you have the consumable balls, which are back. I don't really like them, but they seem to have fixed it from the previous game. The previous game, they affected course conditions, which doesn't make any sense. So in the previous game, you had slower greens and stuff like that, which doesn't really make any sense. A ball doesn't make a green slower. In this one, you have the spin, so you get more spin, which is fine. There are balls that increase your spin. You have flights. Fit a golf ball to reduce the effect of wind. That doesn't make any sense, and from what I have actually heard from people testing the ball, this literally just gives you distance. Why they don't just say that? Because there are golf balls you can get that say gives you more distance, and they will. It'll be a few yards, nothing really noticeable, but there are real golf balls that give you distance. Why say wind when that doesn't make any sense? I don't know. You have forgiveness. Fit a golf ball to reduce hook and slice penalties on your shots. And so you fit those in, and you use one each round. So if you play a 9-hole match, that's one consumable golf ball. If you play an 18-hole match, that's one consumable golf ball. Now you can buy these in the store. You can get them from just playing. You can just get them as rewards. So yeah, I've never bought a consumable golf ball in any of the previous, well, the one previous game they've had them, and I never will in this one. And I'll probably never use it unless it is a quest to do so, which is the only time I've ever used it. And as you can see at the top left, you can have multiple golf bags. And this is really good. You have to level up to 40 to get the fourth one. But this is really handy because instead of going in and let's say I don't want to have a driver 3-wood, 5-wood, instead I want a driver 3-wood, 7-wood, or I don't want a hybrid, instead I just want all irons, which actually, why do I have a hybrid? I don't remember putting a hybrid on this character. It's very strange. But anyway. Or you want clubs and they have, different fittings, stuff like that. You can make different golf bags so you don't have to constantly switch out. And that's really handy because, like I said, you level these clubs up. So if I went in to change driver, as you can see, this one right here has my fittings. It's leveled up to whatever it is. If I put this sim in, this is at the very first level, no fittings. So I would need to level it up. I would need to put more fittings in it and all that to get it leveled up. And then if you go down to wedges, and this is, I think, where it really comes in handy. So when you go down your wedges, you can put a 62, a 52, and then what we have, a 60, a 56, and a 50. So you have 5 different wedges. And if you don't, you just test out without having to go in, replace, and do all that, you can do that. If you are playing courses where you want maybe an extra wedge versus another club, or you don't want this, you don't need the 60, you want the 62 because maybe you have a big gap between hitting a full 60 and hitting like your pitch shot or your spinner shot or something like that. You can put a 62, you get a little less distance, maybe it bridges that gap. So that's a huge thing about bridging gaps and putting different clubs in the bag. That's why on my main character I have a 2-iron, a 3-iron. I don't have a 4-iron, but I have a 5. So now outfits, it's the same as previous games. You have different outfits, different everything. You can get them through rewards for doing anything, playing rounds, clubhouse pass, sponsors. You can just buy them in the store, stuff like that. And they've had a lot of codes, so you put in the locker room codes, and that's how you get all this TGL stuff, which I think is still on. So if you just look up golf club 25 codes, you'll get all the TGO ones. And you had one that they just recently had was fits. You got tireless Vokey wedges and a fitting. So, don't have any undershirts. But yeah, accessories are pretty much the same. And again, you have your first round, your second, third, fourth. So now, let's get into something that was really big. A humongous step up in my opinion, which is the My Player progression. So as you can see, this guy is a level 90. It goes all the way to level 99. I have 0 owned and 0 available AP, which means I just gotta play, level him up, and then I'll have available AP, which I can spend VC to put in. So you get, you go through your levels, you play, get experience, level up. I'm level 37 with an overall of 90. So if I wanted to, actually, you know what? Alright, so this is my main guy. He's at a 94 overall with a level of 89. And I have a hickory putter because I got the greenskeeper, which was the previous guy I was just showing, to a level 90, unlocked it. So yeah. So I have 19 available AP because I leveled him up a decent amount and just didn't put any AP in it because I wanted to level other people up to get them to an 85 and then to a 90 to unlock certain things for this character. So when you level up, you put AP and stuff over here, and it decreases your maximum pool on the other side. That's a really good thing and helps the balance of players, because like I said in 2023, you basically just had the same build. Everybody had the same build no matter what archetype you chose. If you chose a powerhouse, you just put a bunch of technician fittings on your character, and all of a sudden he was a powerhouse technician. Same thing with technician. You just put a bunch of power into the technician, and he's a technical powerhouse. With this one, you can't really do that. As you can see, I'm a magician, which helps you with your recovery and your I believe your correction and contact was decent as well, but this one is the best overall, where everything is pretty good on him. And so leveling him up with the attributes isn't too bad, because it's like, okay, well, I'm going to put stuff in, contact and correction, because my power, I think it started off at 60, so I only brought it up to 65, because you really don't need more than a 280 carry. And if you put fittings in your driver, you're going to get more than 280 carry. You don't need that. I don't want to be someone who drives at 320 yards in the air. That's crazy. But you put in these, and then as you can see, if you look at that 90 overall, as I start to level it up, 95, so I have to put 2 in to get to an overall of 95, and it costs you 175 per attribute point. Now this is very important, because we'll go into how much of this VC you earn later on. So 2 of them gets me to 95. Now let's see what happens to get to a 96. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have to go 7 to get to the next level. Now it's not like that early on. It's not nearly that many. It's you put in 2 and you get to from level 65 to 66. So it's not nearly that egregious. But that costs 1,575 VC to get 9 attribute points in and to level him up basically once, because I've already leveled him up. I've already put enough AP to get him to only 2 to go to 95. So it's 7 more to get to another level, basically. So it's 1,500. As you can see, I have 1,999, and that is because I got another player to 80, and it gave me 1,000 VC. Otherwise, I wouldn't have enough to go past uh, go past this one, the 69. So this overall I think is fantastic and an amazing addition. Having it tied to AP, I'm not sure about, and we'll get to that later. So you have the T skills, and I have a ton of T skills to spec into because, like I said, I'm a 95 or whatever the hell, 94 overall. I can't remember. 94. We just did it. So you start off with the basics. So you start off with just the tee shot, just the approach, just the pitch, and that goes through everywhere. And as you go through, you have to you have to get through this one, and then you have to get to a 75 to get to this one. And I believe might be an 80 to get to this one. It might just be leveling it down here and you can get it, I'm not sure. But it's an 85 to get to this one right here. But you have to be that archetype to get to that one. So I am a magician, so I got to the recovery, and so once I got to 85, I was able to go down here and get this one. This one sucks though. If you are a magician, don't get this one. It's a waste of your points. And you can respec if you do want to do that. But in order to get the other archetype, or other 85 skills, which some of them are very important. Knockdown I don't see being very important. Power drive I don't really see being important. Same thing with recovery. But what is very important, power pick, don't get that, it's worthless, get the blast instead, is the pick shot, which you have to level up the technician for, which I did. And then once you get to 85 overall with that archetype, it unlocks it for the rest of your archetypes. So my main guy is a magician. I got the technician 85, so it unlocks the pick for me. All I have to do is go down here, spend 24 AP or SP skill points to get it, and then get the boost for it. And another very, very, very important one is the green reader. So this one, and I'll show you what it does later on. This one allows you to basically shrink the green grids, and you'll get more detail, and so you'll be able to read the putts a little bit better. Very important because there's a couple weird things going on in the greens. I'll get to that later. But you'll get, I believe it's 500 SP overall, like all the way up to 99. You'll get a most of 500, and that allows you to you can get all the main ones if you want, but you won't be able to get all of the boosts for them. So you do have to pick and choose, and I don't mind that. I said in a previous thing, my biggest worry is that you won't be able to get, all these shot types. Now that doesn't make sense. A pro can do all these shot types. They just might not be that good at some of them. But what they've done is you can get them all. You just can't get all the boosts for them, which is fine. That works fine with me. Now, the one thing that I hate about these shot types is you have the clubhouse pass skills. Now the first one is the tie spinner, which is an interesting shot type. It's one you see almost never on the tour. And the first one, so just to get it, is in the free clubhouse pass. But to get all the boosts, they are all in the paid clubhouse pass. Clubhouse pass is $10 per season, and every season I believe is going to be around 3 months. So it's a decent amount of time, but it is a full price $70 game with clubhouse pass each 3 months, $10, and microtransactions. That to me is one of the most disgusting things video games have been doing. Now I did get one of the early edition one of the early access editions. So I basically have the Clubhouse Pass in full for the next 5 seasons and a 30% boost for it. So you're basically paying for the full price game, and then you're paying for 5 Clubhouse Passes. And plus you get other cosmetics and stuff with it. So if you're going to be playing this game for the next 6 months heavily, it is worth it. But if you're someone who is like, I'm only going to play it, you know, a couple hours a week, really not worth it, because you're not going to get anywhere, you know, without spending a ton of VC or real life money on VC. Now, this is incredibly dumb. Having shot types behind a Clubhouse Pass, it's fine if it's in the free. It is fine if it's in the free one. But having all your boosts, which is incredibly important to get, they make the shot way easier to hit. Having them behind a paywall is incredibly disgusting. But that's it for the my players. Well, that's it for the skills. So, another thing that's really cool, if you go on the bottom right to manage my player, you can now create up to 10 my players. And I'm just doing the 5 because, like I said, I'm trying to get them to level 85 to unlock all the shot types so that my main guy can get them. And then to 90 so I can unlock these hickory clubs. I just love the hickory clubs. So, as you can see, my technician is only 1 level away from 90. I got my greenskeeper already to 90 and my magician. And then I have a powerhouse to 74, because once you get your first player to 90, you unlock rebirth. And what rebirth is it gives you, I believe it's 24 attribute points to put into all of your my players. To put into a my player created after getting that level person to 90. So if you get them to 90 and already have people created, they don't get it. You have to create a new person to get those extra 24 free attribute points. And then you also have the skill points that come with that because you're leveled up. So that's really cool, and that gets you to 74. And then you from there you have to play the game to level him up to get experience in order to put in more attribute points and then to put in more skill points. So if we go over to the powerhouse, set active, and you can just delete them if you decide, hey, I don't want them, or something like that. So if we go to him and we go to the my player progression, so the free ones, which is if you go to the bottom left, it's an owned AP. If you have owned AP, you can put your AP points in here for free. You do not need to spend VC if you have owned AP. If you do not, but you have available AP, that means you have enough, or not you have enough, but you have leveled them up enough to get, to put in more attribute points. But again, as you can see, without having owned AP, it costs VC. And to get this person tonight to 80, oh no, we would need to get them to 85. To get them to 85 from where we're at, let's see, costs us $47.25, and that would unlock the extra powerhouse level 85 archetype, which is power drive, but like I said, I don't think it's very useful. Anyway, another thing that to me is going to really help the life of the game, because you have all this stuff to work towards, you know, getting them to 85 so that your main guy can get all these different shot types, getting them 90 if you want to get these hickory clubs. Now, I want to I can't really show you all of the shot types, but one thing I do want to show you is the difference in the green reader. So on my guy, I'm going to show you what it is without it, and then on my greenskeeper, I'm going to show you what it is with the greenskeeper shot type. Okay, so we're on the putting training facility, basically, and as you can see here, we have a 19-foot putt, and you have 1, 2, 3.5 of the green grids to go through to look at, and you can see you have the first two are moving to the right, and then you have the last one moving a touch to the left, so it should break, I would guess, around there, but it didn't. It was almost dead straight. Oh, that one did break. Okay. So, hold on. I need to make it. I must make it. Okay. So, again, 1, 2.5. Now, let's go ahead and get to my greenskeeper, and I'll show you what it is, because I have a maxed out greenskeeper skill, whatever it's called. So, I'll show you that. Alright guys, so this, again, it's a 19-foot putt, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you count the half a square we're in, and then the half a square of that, it's 5. You basically have 1.7, 1.75 more green grids than before, and you can see all the little extra break that is in it. So, this one is, even though it isn't breaking much, since it's breaking the entire way, I would say it's going to break around that much. It might be a little different because these are very, I'm going to say these are very slow greens, so they're not going to, if you play it by real life, they're not going to break nearly as much. And just look at all these extra green grids. Now, that helps you a lot in the long run because you're going to see a lot more break in putts. You're going to be able to read them a little bit better, but I will say sadly, there seems to be either something put in place to where if you don't have this skill, either you get really weird breaks in the middle of putts, or they just have a lot of ghost breaks. Because when I play on my main guy who does not have this skill, when I'm in career mode, or even if I'm playing ranked or whatever, I have a lot of ghost breaks. Ones where, we'll get to the next putt, where let's say, this is saying it's breaking to the right the entire time. So I know it's not breaking much. Let's say I put it right here. And if you look on my swing meter, let's see what happens. So it says perfect. Oh, okay, I hit it perfect and made it. Well, that didn't help at all. It put me to the same one, so perfect. God damn it. Since I have my putting so high on this character, it's a lot easier to hit them. So 4.47 degrees open. So if I have a putt like this, which is dead straight, this is a dead straight putt, nothing is moving, and I hit it 4.47 degrees open, this should miss to the right. But when you are playing on all these other courses, if you have a dead straight putt and sometimes you'll hit it open, sometimes you'll hit it dead perfect, it'll miss left, or it'll miss right if you hit it perfect, or if it's breaking to the left, it'll miss to the left, even though all the grids are going right. So it's like, I don't know if that's something put into place with characters without this skill fully leveled up, or if they just have a ton of ghost breaks. But it's very, very strange. Here, let's see if we can get a little tougher putt. So let's go so we can look at. Yeah, so this is a much better representation of how the greensman or the greenskeeper shot type can help you out. You can see that a ton of break to the right, dies off, a ton of break to the left. So 14 inches up. pretty good putt. It's okay. I'd take it in real life from that distance. But yeah, that's the greensman skill type. And that one, honestly, is probably, I would say, the second. I would say it's the second or third most important shot type. So let's go. We'll go to my guy, because I do have a majority of the shot types. My main guy. And I just want to go through some of them. And you know what? I will... What am I doing? I'll do this for you guys. I was going to do it anyway. I was going to do it in a career video, but... Just so you can see. So if we go to the shot types, again, power drive is just a harder to hit drive that goes further. So I'm not really worried about getting that. The knockdown shot is a shorter shot that goes lower. It has more spin. You can basically just make that shot happen. A choked punch is just a slightly lower, shorter punch. This is useless. I don't know why this is a thing. Again, this is just a shorter shot that makes it so that you can recover from bad lies easier. I'm just showing you all the ones I don't have or won't use. We're gonna get the pick, so I can show you guys that one. The blast is just a splash that rolls out a little bit more. That's all that is. And I do want to get... I'll show you, this is how you unlock them as well. So you have bump and run, Texas wedge, and this one right here is lag putt. I don't ever see needing that, ever. 24, so man, I'll be able to get that and not much else. Yeah, so there we go. And then we'll go to the training facility, and I'll just go through all the shot types and show you guys these, because again, this is a huge step up from previous games, because they didn't have all these shot types. They basically just had your tee shot, your approach shot, punch, flop, splash from the bunker, chip, flop, and then you're just putt. So, and I am on master swing difficulty and all that stuff, so with contact very high. So your normal shot, not too bad, little pull, little closed, it's gonna go left. And these are all the tee shots that I have. So you have your just regular driver tee shot. You have a choked tee shot, which just goes a little bit less distance, a little bit lower, and you can only bring it back a few yards, which is very strange. And as you can see, I haven't leveled up all of the boosts for it, so it's very hard to hit compared to my regular one. Although I hit that one very well. Actually went a lot better than my regular one. And then we have the Stinger, which this is a fun one. So obviously it goes a lot less distance. It goes a lot lower so that you can get under the wind. And I hit that horribly. 7.75 degree closed. It's going to go left. Let's go ahead and hit another one. That's a little bit better, 4.5. So those are your approach shots. Power drive, like I said, is the only one I don't have, but that is basically just this carrying 280. It would carry like 290 to 295, something like that. But you can get a little more distance out of it if you do that. Obviously, going to be much harder to hit if you see the little notches on your swing meter. The notch on the bottom and right get a lot harder to hit when you do that. So, not horrible. Actually, pretty darn good. A 2.5 open is not going to hurt you just about at all on the driver. And so we have the irons now. I have a 2-iron on this guy, and you have just a regular tee shot. Whoa! I think I have the. I was like, why is this so difficult to hit all of a sudden? I have this stuff. I forgot it doesn't reset. So regular tee shot, you have the choke tee shot, which is the same, and you can still play the stinger as long as it's a tee shot. So pushed it out a lot, but very cool to see a shot type like that in the game. We'll go to your approach shot now. Can I go through that through here? Scout, cycle, practice, swing, reset. Oh, you can reset the shot. No. Alright, so for that you gotta just go training facility and then you go down to approach. So this is, again, I'm a magician, so I have a really good lie in this heavy rough. You can't really tell except for you can see most of the ball because I'm on master. It does not show you the lie percentage on master. So you have a pitch shot. Now this pitch shot is going to run. So I'm going to aim it to hit just before the green and it'll probably run to that pin. My lie is going to the right, so I'm going to aim it a little bit left. Hit it horribly. I pushed it to the right, but as you can see, just about rolled out all the way to the hole. So your pitch shots in this run a lot more than in 2K23. Now that is one thing that I will say I think is maybe a little too much. I do think they have a little bit too much run. This is a 60-degree wedge. Well, this is going to a downhill slope, but 60-degree wedge. Even if it's a pitch shot, this honestly probably shouldn't get down to the hole, even though it's going on a downhill slope, unless I de-loft and try to take as much spin off of it as I can. So you hit that perfect, but this goes all the way down, hits that down slope. Well, it didn't get all the way to the hole, but these are very slow greens, like I said. We have the spinner, which is a must-have shot. So with this one, I don't have all the upgrades for it, so it's a lot harder for me to hit at the moment. For this one, it is just a way more handy pitch. What was that? Oh, that was just the pitch shot. Damn it. It is a way more handy pitch. Now, from the rough, basically doesn't work, which it shouldn't. Keep pulling it. But as you can see, it stops up immediately after that first bounce. What we're going to do is get a little bit, let's get to where we can actually see the pin. And I can show you the other ones. Okay, well actually this works too. Here's a chip. So the chip shots don't go nearly as far in the air, so 13 yards, and then you can go all the way up to your pitching wedge, which is only 15 yards. But if we just hit this chip, full blast, look how much this runs out. Again, these are way slower greens. Runs out a good bit. This is another thing where if you're playing on an actual course, I think they run out too much. It's insane. It's basically if you would have played a bump and run, which, oh yeah, that's right. You have to go to, hold on. This is one thing that's dumb. You have to go up to a 9-iron and then go all the way up to a bump and run. That's the only way to get to it. Because if you're at the pitching wedge or lower, it doesn't give you the bump and run option. I've never actually hit this. Boom, and as you can see, runs just like it would in real life. So you have the tie spinner. This is the clubhouse pass unlock. And here. This is honestly a awful location to showcase some of these because you're having to hit into this hill. So tie spinner, as you can see, it goes 13 yards with the 60 degree all the way up to 20 yards with the pitching wedge. Yeah. So that one is another one that's super low. It'll check up really quickly. And if you have those boosts for it and it's way easier to hit, a very good shot type. It is pretty situational though. If you are on weird lies, like I was on over here where you had to hit into this hill basically to get it to stop anywhere near the hole, it's not very useful at all. You just hit a spinner or flop it. which we have the flop. And if you look at the flop, look how the angle is. It is the exact opposite of my swing path. My swing path is a draw. So from left to right, this is a right to left, because this is how you would hit a flop. And as you can see, for me, very hard to hit a proper flop. That was awful. Ended up on the right, in the right direction, but very, very hard to hit, which is super fine. That a flop is a very difficult shot to hit in real life. Not for me. I'm very good at them, but what I'm not very good at is a fade. I can't hit a fade. But then you also have a super flop, which is a much shorter, higher flop that will stop really quickly. Look how high that is, and just stops dead. So in a situation where I don't know how many situations you would have the super flop and you wouldn't have other things, but like let's say this situation right here, you know, if you had to stop it dead, maybe you're landing on a downhill slope and a regular chip like this, and you couldn't stop it like you can here, the super flop will stop within a few feet, maybe a few yards of hitting. So the super flop can really get you out of a pickle if you are on a really, odd slope. So, yeah, that is all the approach, or it's the approach shot types. And they nerfed the spinner, so you can't do it from an insanely short distance. So as you can see, 26 yards is the shortest you can do, and you can go all the way up to 57 yards with the spinner. But they did nerf how short the spinner goes, because people were using it and basically just chipping in from an insane distance. So now let's go into the bunker. So if we go into this bunker right here, we have your regular splash shot, which you're going to want to land around right here. And, well, that's going to be short. But anyway, it's going to roll out a little bit. And so, land it there. And let it just roll out a little bit. Then you have the pick, which is very new to me. As you can see, very difficult to hit. But hit it pretty well, actually. It goes very high and just kind of lands and goes a yard. Of course, based on, the lie, based on how up and downhill. Like that one, holy hell, that one rolled out. Oh, that was a blast. I'm stupid. I forget that it resets you every time. So, let's go right here. Pick. Boom. Just stops it dead, which is very nice. And like I said, the blast is going to... the blast is just going to roll out a little bit more. Now, this is the useless one, or at least useless to me, that I found. Where is it? Where's the power pick? I have the power pick. Oh, anyway, power pick is useless. I'll just say that. Power pick is very useless. Let us go right here. So we have... Oh wow, okay, so it has me aimed at the green that I was at. That's funny. So another shot type, driver off the deck. Now this is another one they've nerfed. Driver off the deck was actually pretty easy to hit, and it went the same distance as your driver off the tee. So my driver is a 280 off the tee. They nerfed it back 10 yards, which is good. Your driver off the deck doesn't normally go the same distance, and it had the same height. So if we hit this, height's decent, but doesn't quite go as high as a normal drive. And as you can see, it is very difficult to hit. Again, I only have the very basics in it. I don't have any of the boosts, but very hard to hit. It was not this hard previously. There's 2 perfects though right there. And as you can see, only went 257, but the wind is, if I put it over here, a little bit into our face. We have your standard punch shot. Hey, not bad. Not bad at all. Choke approach and all that, yeah. Let's see. And you can't punch with anything less than a 9-iron, which I don't really like. I don't get why they have it like that, but whatever. And one thing I want to note, it's just a little bugaboo, a little gripe of mine. See if I can get into a really weird situation. Oh, this isn't weird at all. Okay. That's right, because we're going to this green. Alright. So if we're going to that pin, let's get to... Even this isn't that weird. Look at that. Look at that angle you have to hit at. Tough angle. I'm trying to get it to where he's standing in a super awkward position. It's like the one little gripe of mine with the animation that's just very strange. Maybe it'll be like something right here. Yeah, you notice how here he's standing incredibly close to the ball and just has the club straight up and down almost. That's just a little thing of mine that's like, man, that looks horrible. Because you wouldn't be doing that in real life. But anyway, those are the shot types, most of the shot types. I think an incredible addition to the game. I think they've done incredible things in that. Now, let's get to the 2 things. One that's not too bad. So, you have My Career. Now, with My Career, just like the other ones, you can start at Q School, Korn Ferry, or PGA Tour. And if you start at Q School, you work your way up. That's what I did. Earned my way to the PGA Tour. Now we're on the PGA Tour. So you see you have personality, popularity, notifications. Personality and popularity don't really matter at all. They don't give you anything really. It's just like this little addition that's there. I think that could be handled a little bit better. The trophies and the presentation of all that isn't great. It's basically just like the previous one. And if you don't play like this NSO tournament, Northern Shore Open, your trophy is going to be the exact same as every other tournament that isn't a real life tournament. Obviously the players is going to have the real life trophy, but any tournament that's not a direct representation of like the Genesis or the Waste Management, they're just going to be the exact same trophy, the exact same everything if you win it. Very disappointing in that. They have no cutscene or anything with real life people like the old Tiger Woods days. Very disappointed in that. I would love those. Just little things. The training and multiple events that you have before your main event is a great addition. I think it gets you a little bit prepared to play, especially if you haven't played yet that day. I think that's really cool. You have these messages that you have with either your rival, your sponsor, or your, what's he called? Your representative. Really cool. They give you extra things if you keep doing them, especially the sponsors. Your sponsors. Now, these are actually a big grind. So I'm at tier 2 on the Titleist sponsor. And as you can see, I've got a glove, got some VC. And then if you get tier 3, who cares about that ball? You get the driver at tier 4 or 5, you get some VC and stuff like that. I want these wedges. If you wear or use the equipment, you get a little bit more of a boost. I'm stupid right now and I'm not using any of their equipment or apparel. So I'm not getting a boost at all. And then you have Under Armour, which is strictly a clothing one, as you can see. Nice shoes, some nice shirts, and stuff like that. So the sponsors are pretty much the same. These take longer to grind, I've found, unless you wear their stuff, than almost anything else. You have your rivals. This is a huge disappointment yet again. So if we defeat Tom Kim, let's say you get some XP, some VC, and unless you have the AI almost maxed, or the CPU almost maxed out, you defeat these guys by a mile. Like, I defeated Tom Kim, Rose Zhang, Will Zalatoris, and Brooke Henderson by like 10, 15 shots every time. Zalatoris I had to do twice because I put the CPU very high, and he won the tournament by shooting I think it was a 10 under and a 12 under. Something like that at not an easy course. So your rivals are still very, very disappointing. Tiger Woods, at least, if you beat him, you get his putter. But everybody else, I wish you could see what you got when you defeated them. But I think everybody else, you just mostly get XPVC. Sometimes you'll get like a hat or a club, I think. But yeah. Settings, you have a million settings that you can do with the career, simulation, conditions, events. I have master. The opponent difficulty I have at custom because I'll show you in a minute. Conditions is at hard. Simulation, the user sim, I don't do sim, so I never touch this. CPU I have at 88. I put it to 95 and they went insane. They were crazy. Skill deviation, I put attendance to 100 because if you don't have it at 100, your rivals sometimes just won't be there, and so it takes a lot longer to defeat them. Conditions are at hard, and so that does all that. I have regular events at 2 full rounds because I don't like to do simulated rounds. Alternate events are the same. Signature events are 4 full rounds. Majors are 4 full rounds. FedEx Cup full. But yeah, that's basically it for my career. I do think the training and the events are really cool. You can get sponsor boosts or just regular boosts and XP boosts from doing them, which is nice. But again, one step forward. I want to say a half a step forward, really, for my career. If you compare it to 2K23, it's a giant leap forward. If you compare it to what it should be, it's only like a half step forward, unfortunately, because you have so many things that still, like, leaderboards are broken when it comes to what it shows your rival doing, and then what their score is. It's just completely broken. You'll have somebody not on the leaderboard at all, and then the next hole they've jumped up to number 1 when they were 3 back a hole before, and it was like, what the hell? So leaderboards are still broken. They can't seem to figure that out. Topgolf is still just one game. Very boring, honestly. We just did training, quick play, matchmaking. So matchmaking, if you go to this, I'll show you what they have here. And I have played Divot Derby a little bit. Divot Derby is very fun, especially if you have real people. Now, unfortunately, to get more than 1 or 2 real people, you have to basically go to a streamer that's playing the game and just push play when they do, and you'll get a full lobby. That's what I did the other day, and it was full lobbies for like an hour, and it was really fun. But if you don't do that, you'll just get, I got max of like 3 or 4 people that were real, and then you have 15 bots. So haven't really played anything else. Again, high rollers and wages, nobody's going to play anymore because they have nerfed VC accrue, nerfed how much VC you accrue by over 50%. So, and since that's tied to leveling up your guy, I don't see anybody playing these. I really don't. But that's just casual matchmaking. a very cool thing they've done, which again is a huge leap forward and a big step back after an update they've done. If we go to competing, you have ranked matchmaking, so that's the same. That's the same as 2K23. You know, it's 1v1 or 2v2, ranked, 9 holes, very fun. You have your online societies. You can have up to 10 societies that you follow. They have TGC Tours, which won't be open for probably like another month because they're still testing things. You have other societies that you can join, and it's all cross-platform, so it's awesome. You can play with people that are playing on Xbox, PC, if you're playing on PS5. Amazing. And then you have ranked tours. If we go into ranked tours, this is something completely new for this game. It's kind of like what they were doing with EA, that you had daily, weekly, and in EA you had seasonal. This one you just have daily and weekly. And then you have merits for how well you do. I got promoted to Eagle 3. Okay, cool. I was in like par 2, and I just keep playing the dailies and get promoted. And as you can see, you can win stuff for getting promotions. I have jeans that I'll never wear because I hate jeans in real life. You get an Evo tool and 25 VC, which again they have nerfed quite a bit. But you get these merits for how well you finish in the tournaments, and then points and stuff like that. We can view the leaderboard real quick. And I am in 347th place. But as you can see, when it comes to the badge, I only have a number 2, so it's not bad at all. Alright, let's go to the actual things. And before the full launch, loading was almost instantaneous. You would wait maybe 5 seconds. But now it's a lot longer because of launch. So, you have your daily master, which is 1 round, your daily pro, and your daily pro am. All 3 of these are 1 round. Your weekly master, pro, and pro am, these are 4 rounds. And as you can see, this is what doesn't make sense. Your entry fee for the weekly tournaments is 25 VC, and from playing a just one round is 54 VC. Again, nerfed. 44%, I believe, from what you did have, and nerfed, I think it was like 65 to almost 70% from what you had probably at the beginning of the early access period. But if you go to the daily, which is 1 every day, the entry fee is 50, sorry. Again, you only make 54 per round, so you only gain 4 VC. You have to play 4 rounds just to earn enough to level up 1 attribute point, and if you play these, you won't be able to do that. You have to play in one where you don't have an entry fee. So if you play in these, you're only gaining 4 VC, and so if you play in all 3, you get 12. That's awful. But anyway, these are really fun to do. Unfortunately, this is the only way to actually earn things. But playing in 5 events and getting 25 VC, where you're only earning 4 VC through these, and then you are earning almost 30 through this one, and then you're getting, they've made it go from, hey, I gotta play 100 hours to get to a 99, to, hey, I gotta play 200 hours, or however, or maybe it was like 50 hours to get to 99, now I gotta play 200. Absolutely awful. But anyway, that's an amazing addition, which was the daily and weekly, along with the societies and the TGC tours. You have the ranked matchmaking. You have your just, casual matchmaking. Top Golf is awful. You have quick play into my career. You have training, which is actually really good. Now, let's talk about the Clubhouse Pass. So, with the Clubhouse Pass, again, I have the 30% premium XP boost because I did get the early access edition, and I have the first 5 Clubhouse Passes. I'm up to tier 63, And it does take a little bit to get to get through these tiers, but as you can see, tie spinner, this is on the paid version. This is the boost. If we go down to just the skill shot, this is the free one, which is fine. It's completely fine to be on the free one. You play and you get it. Awesome. But all the boosts are paid, locked behind a paywall. And that is awful, it's gross, it's greedy, it's stupid. And as you can see, this season pass is Mizuno, so you're going to get Mizuno clubs. I wish they weren't. That's like the one brand I really don't care about. But that's whatever, you know. If you go all the way, you get this Emerald STG Mizuno 440, which is already leveled up a certain amount. And so you just have to level it, Evo it, and do that. So the Clubhouse Pass is fine. If you are going to play a ton, I would say that it is worth it to get the Legend Edition because it gives you the first 5, you get the boost, and you get a couple other cosmetic packs. Now that the early access is over, though, don't know if it would be worth it because you can just pay $40 to get the first 5 seasons, so you'd be saving $10 versus paying $120, you'd be paying $110. But I don't think you would get like the extra cosmetic packs like Sunday Red, stuff like that. But again, I don't know. Now, let's talk about the worst thing they could have done, which could possibly slowly kill the game. And those are nerfs that they did hours before full launch. And if you go to My Player, so as you can see, go to the store. We haven't checked that out. As you can see, you have these packs 2420, 2070, 1980. They've raised the prices on all of these, which I don't care. I'll never buy these unless they have something I really love, which, well, I doubt it. They've raised the prices of these, which is fine. I do think the level up tokens and the Evo tools needed to be raised so that people can't just constantly buy them. Now, you can only get one a day, but you can't just constantly buy them and level up your character. What the hell is this? Oh, it's a moon ball. Now, this I do like. I really this is what I like. I don't know why, but I really like this moon golf ball. But am I going to waste money getting this knowing that the 275 VC that this costs means that I have to play for, let's say it's 20 minutes a round, 25 minutes to play one round of golf to get 54 VC. That is 6 rounds. Am I going to play for an hour and a half? Actually 2 hours. Let's say 2 hours. 2 hours to afford this golf ball. I don't know. But yeah. And then R3, so VC packs, and this is the reason they nerfed it. 2K said, hey HB, we aren't making money from people buying VC, which is their only real life, the only currency you can buy with real life money. It's the only thing you can buy for real life money. Make it so people have to buy VC, or you have to play for hundreds of hours to do what you could do in just 100. You know, let's just say ballpark. And so what they did is they nerfed how much VC you make, raised how much everything costs when it comes to VC. so that you are almost not forced, but if you don't want to grind for hundreds of hours, you need to buy these. For somebody brand new, it won't be that bad because, well, actually no. You know what? Let's test this. So if we go to quests, so you have all your daily, weekly, seasonal, my career collections, progression challenges, and milestones. You have all these quests you can do. I've completed 38. When you first start the game out, you have a ton of easy quests to do that give you VC, experience, and all that to level your guy up in the beginning. It'll tell you what you get. A fitting. My player experience. And again, you can get all the my player experience you want, but if you're not getting VC, you cannot level your player up. These all, or almost all, used to give you VC. And now almost none of them do. Look at this, 15, you can get 30 VC. 30. You used to get a lot more, 50 VC. Again, you used to get more, 25. 50. And again, all these are very easy, so you can do them all at the very beginning of the game. You cannot even go into the Q School or Corn Ferry and do all of them. But again, with all this VC that you're earning, which again is not very much, they slashed it. You won't be able to level up more than 4 or 5 AP points, which is only going to get you from a 65 to like a 60 or a 70, which is it's almost no different. I mean, look at this. Record 18 pars, record 15 pars. You get no VC, you just get experience, which you can't use unless you get VC. Reach a 90, you get 900, but that's only enough to level up a few times, you know? 150, 300, 600, 900. So it's they've completely slashed how much VC you earn versus how much VC you have to spend. And it's all in the name of greed and everything. And I'm all for a grind, especially when it comes to golf. I mean, look at real life. Look at how difficult golf is real life. Look at how much you have to grind in real life. This is a video game. I don't want to have to make this be a thing where I have to play for years to, you know, that's an exaggeration, but you get what I mean. I don't want to have to play for 400 hours to get, you know, all the shot types just to see what I like, you know, and what I don't like, and I think that's awful. Let's look at challenges. So, again, none of the, here we go. Complete the quest. I don't even know what these quests are, so I can't say if those are difficult or not. Let's look at the season one. Player to 99, you get 1,000 VC and a taco putter. Getting someone to 99, again, even though I'm at 94 and I can get him to 97, without free giveaways of VC, that'll still take me probably another 30 hours because you get so little VC. And unless you're just playing 100 rounds of just like play now tournaments, and just you're going in and playing those, just, you know, regular by yourself not tournaments but rounds of 18 holes, it takes you an insane amount of time because it takes 4 rounds to do 1 AP point. No VC there, no VC there, but these are all for clubs anyway, so it's like kind of whatever. Reach a clubhouse pass level of 100 and you get a long sleeve. That's insane. I don't understand why these are different. Why are these in different categories? Oh, this is end of March, and this is just completing season 1. Okay. So this is one thing I'm trying to work towards, getting the hickory wedges, because this is the only one you can earn without getting a archetype to 90, and so I just need to win a major right now. So, see about that. But you also get 50 VC. Finish 5 rounds of ranked tours, so that's basically 2.5 hours almost. Finish 5 rounds of casual matchmaking. So if you just do the 5 rounds of Divot Derby, that's around an hour. Win a major in my career is going to take you a while because you have to get to the major. And then record over 2,000 yards in approach shots distance total. That one's pretty easy to get, but still. Just for 50 VC, you're looking at around 5 to 7 hours minimum. For 50. Make 10 putts, start at least 30 feet, finish 3 rounds of Topgolf online. Topgolf is so boring. So it's like a lot of these big VC sinks are either very boring or going to take you an insanely long time. Like, look at this. Daily, I don't want to play with golf club brand clubs. They suck. But anyway, guys, they have made incredible strides with this game. This is probably gameplay wise, this is the best golf game that has ever been made, gameplay wise. If you look at the way you level up, in terms of they have shot types, they have attribute points, the way they're distributed, the archetypes that you have, different archetypes that play very differently. The amount of customization you have with difficulty, the customization you have with putting clubs in, taking clubs out. You have different golf bags. You can make up to 10 completely different characters. You have, you have really nice practice facilities. You have a good My Career. You have a good My Career. Not a great one. You have a good one. You have pretty good rewards for certain things. In my opinion, the Hickory clubs are a great reward. Look at this putter. Look at this Hickory putter, you know? You have Tiger's putter if you beat him in your rivalry. And then they give you this early access for an extra what was it? An extra $20 or $30 gets you early access. An extra $50 gets you the early access in the first 5 clubhouse pass. Which I get them doing. It's a way to gauge how much people want to play, how many people want to play enough to give you that early access money. But they use the people that got the early access to basically test how much VC packs are they, or how much money are they earning from VC packs. How fast are people leveling up? And they took all of that information and made it so that if you're not grinding 200, 300, 400 hours into a game, into a golf game, you will not be able to be competitive with other people, especially early access players. It's going to look like you're going to need to spend real money on VC packs on an already full-priced $70 game that has a clubhouse pass for $10 every few months. And they do these debuffs to the shot types, which was needed. They did need to debuff the shot types, especially when it comes to driver off the deck, when it comes to spinner, tie spinner, when it comes to the pick shots. They needed to debuff these. And what? I wish it didn't put me in these weird ass locations. That was all needed. They needed to raise the prices of oh, there's a Texas switch. They needed to raise the prices of the Evo tools, and holy shit. You're telling me I can hit a putter this far? They needed to raise the prices of level up tokens in the shop. But then they nerf how much AP you get, or how much currency you get everywhere. They nerf it to where you have to play an hour, 2 hours to get one attribute point. They raise the prices of everything in the store, not just the things that everybody was like, well, that was needed. They raised the prices of everything by minimum of 40 to 60%. And then they raise the prices of how much it is to level up. They raise the prices of just regular cosmetics in the store. And since you use VC for everything, as somebody who will never buy VC for real life money, I'm now never going to spend money on cosmetics or clubs until I have all of my characters where I want them to be. Every character, all 5. Which is all 5 at 90. And then once I've respec'd this guy and have the skills I want, then I can start doing that. And even as an early access player, that's going to take an incredibly long time. And they do it all hours before the full release. So, it was a very scummy move to do it then. If they would have waited a couple weeks to do something like that, so that people can level up their guy, people can get to where early access players are, or if they raise the VC prices for things, but only slash how much you earn by 20%. That would have been perfectly fine. This game, before that nerf to everything, was honestly an 8.5, 9 out of 10 for me. The only thing that could have been better would be some my career aspects. And, bug fixes. Because there are there's a lot of little bugs. After that, it shows me what I already knew and what I already was afraid of. That 2K was going to force HB Studios to put in a ton of consumer... what would you call it? Just these unfriendly consumer aspects of the live service motto of pay to play. And I don't know. It's sad to see. It's just sad. And honestly, I was playing like 4 to 5 hours a day on my days off. And then coming home from work, playing the dailies. And now, because you earn so little VC, now it, takes so long to do everything. It makes me not want to play as much. If I hadn't have gotten it early access and already gotten a couple of my players leveled up a good bit, I don't know if I would have gotten the game at launch. I may have waited for a big sale. But yeah. I'm hoping they revert some of the changes. You don't need to go fully back to how much we were making before, but you need to go back a little bit, you know. You need to make it so that you earn enough so that it doesn't feel like you're working to play the game, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, that was an in-depth review. I went through most of the new stuff, all the good, all the bad. Again, I'm not a level 99 player. I've been playing for around 32 to 34 hours. In early access, I played a little bit after it fully launched to see what they've nerfed, what they have... Basically what they nerfed. They just nerfed. That's all they did in the update for the full launch was nerf it. And, yeah, they are handing out locker room codes occasionally. Like I said, I think you can still get all the TGO ones. They're handing out, you know, occasional things that are brand new of get your player to 85 and you get VC in these classes. And you have until March or May. And they're doing stuff like that, but with the nerfs, I think that's going to show people how the next game is going to be. And if the next game comes out immediately like that, I don't know. I don't know. Again, make it a grind, but you cannot make this a full-time job. That's my opinion. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the review for it. This is my very first review for a game. Hope it wasn't too shit. Let's just say that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you. Bye.